podcasting, you gotta be drunk while you're podcasting?
Aren't we kind of a bit high?
Are we high?
I don't know, high on oxygen.
I mean-
We're on the 8th floor. We're high.
Ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the first ever episode of JerryCast podcast. My name is Jerry, and I am here with my great friend who is also an artist and all-time shitposter, Kuro, or I will call her as.
So I'm an it now.
Yes, yes, you're an it now. So I'm gonna call her as.
And granted, I have a fursuit, but you don't have to call me it. We're human too.
Are you human?
Yeah.
I am questioning my dignity.
Your dignity. Okay.
I don't think I even have one.
I think the only dignity that is at stake right now is my dignity.
Do you have any to begin with?
Well, yeah, I had. And it's like, now you revealed my true identity and now I feel vulnerable.
Right, you're vulnerable because you are a bunny.
No, I'm not. It's not about the whole bunny thing. It's the fact that I had an identity to be kept secret. It's like Superman, man. It's like you don't go around telling people, hey, this guy, he's my partner and he's Superman. It's like,
Well,
I'm gonna call you Clark Kent. Now everybody knows that guy is Superman.
oh my god. I mean, are you fine with that?
I suppose if you don't give up my last name.
I suppose that is true, so we're not gonna leave or tell anyone your last name because that will be very bad.
Plus, I don't want people pouring into my personal Facebook.
Please don't. I mean, we're not gonna show anyone your Facebook anyway.
Yeah.
Anyways, welcome to the show where we talk about games and sometimes we just shit talk.
Yeah.
And we have a couple of things to talk about. We have Life is Strange Before the Storm.
Detroit become human.
Are you a human?
That's a very personal question.
Right, so we're probably going to talk about Cuphead, probably Monster Hunter World, and some other stuff. Let's talk about, Life is Strange. So what is Life is Strange?
Well, it's like a Telltale game, but better.
Right. Is it really good or isn't?
Well, it's really good. Why are you asking me the questions?
I have no idea, even though I actually played it.
Exactly.
In fact, we both played it.
Yeah, I really love the first season.
Yeah, so Life is Strange was a game by Don't Not Entertainment, and Life is Strange Before the Storm is made by another developer called Deck 9 Games, in which they did not have any sort of prior titles and whatnot.
Actually, they do have.
Do they?
Yeah, they were under a different name before that. The first time they're jumping into this kind of genre.
Right. So let's just say we had a very low expectation when we first started out the new series.
Well, that was particularly because of the first episode, wasn't it?
Well, it's true.
Well, I suppose first impressions are important.
Yeah. So both of us played the 2 episodes, and let's just say the first episode was really bad.
I have to agree. Like, I felt like if they had... And don't get me wrong, they actually got like Ashley Birch to write for Chloe and help them with the writing for Chloe. But it's just that the writing for Rachel can be a bit iffy sometimes.
Right. I don't know why, but I felt like the first episode was really rushed out. Like, there's no introduction to Chloe. I mean, there was, but it's like, this is Chloe, she's on a train track, and she went to a mosh pit, was it?
Yeah, and she was smoking.
Yeah, that's about it. But while back in the first game by Don't Not, we had Max, who just happens to have a power of, being able to rewind time. While Chloe doesn't really have any powers to begin with.
Well, she can smack talk.
Well, that's it. And even then, the smack talk feature is very lackluster.
Well, yeah. That's true, but I do enjoy roasting people.
I mean, it's 2017. If you're not roasting someone, what's wrong with you?
So that means that my dad has something wrong with it?
Not really. I'm not saying.
I mean, no, man. Like, look, there's more to roasting someone in life. And, sometimes the truth is weird, the truth is, it's out there, man.
Yeah, the truth is out there.
It's out there, and I guess that's why life is strange.
Oh my god, you just set that up. I am so upset with you right now. Right, so let's talk about what's wrong with episode 1. Would you like to tell us? Aside from the horrible introduction.
Well, I would say like the writing, it was kind of shoehorned in some areas.
Mm-hmm.
Some of the character motivations, the character actions and stuff. Like Rachel Amber, it's not really given a clear
Identity?
not identity, but more like she's not really given, like us as the viewer, we don't really get to see what her motivation is for
true.
Interacting with Chloe very clearly. And maybe they're holding that off, but some of the, it's like, and I'm gonna be a bit, I don't know if I should say this next part because it's a bit spoilery.
Well, to be fair, we can just talk about it since we're gonna put like the spoiler alert over there somehow.
Well, if you don't like spoilers, you can just skip ahead like the next 20 seconds or so.
Yeah, that's true.
But like, basically, it's like she interacts with Chloe and then they become friends, like really good friends suddenly. And then she's all upset and then she doesn't want to be friends. And then she becomes friends again with Chloe. I'm like, how does that work? And especially when like, you didn't even do anything wrong to her. It's like...
It doesn't make any sense at all.
Nah, man. Nah.
Yep, I still remember when playing episode 1, and there's this one part at the school, Blackwell Academy, where Chloe's friends were playing Dungeons and Dragons, and that particular scene that took about somewhere half an hour-ish, that part alone has a lot more dialogue. It had a lot more effort put into writing that particular story. So it doesn't make sense for the rest of the game to be, well, to be honest, it's kind of shit.
This could be like one of those things where it looks good on paper and then when they execute it kind of just falls apart like that.
Well, you're not wrong.
Yeah, I felt like maybe if they took out like, that one part where she just, she got really angry at Chloe and stuff. It just, like the part where you're beating up stuff in the junkyard and shit like that, it could have been repurposed into another scene where it just didn't flow very well, you know what I mean?
It's just weird. So, by the end of episode 1, we're like, our expectations are just out of the window. It's in the toilet as well. And then episode 2 came along and it just arrived. That like we didn't see any kind of videos from YouTube or even any announcements from the Steam store. I mean, they did, but
it wasn't really like, it doesn't pop up on your Facebook timeline like they usually do,
It's like, wait, episode 2 is out? Oh, okay. I had, a lot of, I guess my trust were lost because of what happened in episode 1. But after trying out episode 2, I'm surprised that it's a lot better than episode 1, as if they actually give a damn about the game.
I'm pretty sure they gave a damn, but it's just like whoever wrote episode 1 wasn't really they thought it was good in their head, and I think like quite a few people actually thought it was good. Like I know a lot of people who were like, oh my god, episode 1 is amazing, and then I just be like, no, you need to learn storytelling. No. Yeah, but jokes aside, I was like, I remember playing episode 2. I really didn't want to play episode 2, and I was like, since it's out, might as well play it since I have nothing better to do. And I did, and then I was like, after finishing it, I was like going up to you on Facebook. I was like, Dude, you need to play it.
And well, you did tell me to play, and I spent like 3 hours non-stop playing it, and I like it. I felt like they actually improved a lot. I mean, there are certain parts where it's just like, why is this even here in the first place? And
Yeah, but it's not as apparent as the first episode.
yeah, that's true. But I suppose it's like, what's wrong with the game in general? Is it? I felt like it's being rushed because it's Life is Strange and people want the game more, and we already know that there's gonna be a new game by Don't Not themselves. What's wrong with this game?
Well, I'm not sure. If you say it feels like it's being rushed, I don't think so because it's been. I pretty much think that it has been in production for a while, which would explain especially why Ashley Birch wouldn't be able to reprise her role. A lot of the characters weren't able to have their roles reprised, by the voice actresses and voice actors. But I think they have their standard 3 to 4 month period where they're working according to the pipeline. I think this was just like they didn't really have people to look at the writing for episode. Well, okay, I'm gonna cut myself off there first. Maybe it seems bad now, but maybe when you look at it in retrospect, when the whole thing is complete, it will make sense.
Right, because it's only like 2 episodes, and we still have 1+1. Because we bought the deluxe edition, and we apparently will get an additional episode for whatever reason.
I think the additional episode is more like a pandering to the fans who wants to play as Max.
Or it could be where you could play as Rachel.
They already said that you were playing as Max in the additional episode.
Oh boy. Right, you were saying?
Right, so if it really is one of those things where it would make sense the moment that the final episode is out and things start to fall into place, then maybe I would forgive episode 1. But right now it just feels really bad to me. Like I really lost my enthusiasm to play Life is Strange.
And we liked the series as a whole. I mean, hell, we played episodes 3 until 5 like 2 years ago together, and we both shared how we felt, and it was a great journey. Of course, except for that ending where it's kind of like,
Well, yeah, the ending that the writers didn't want you to pick was the one on purpose, and I can respect that decision.
Yeah, because this is a game, and you need to have an ending, basically.
Yeah, well, one of them is just not satisfactory, and the other is just like they did a really good job on that, where like they wanted you to pick the ending, and it's the one that's supposed to be played out. And when you see it, it's just wow.
It's just wow, yeah. Right, so another thing that I felt, it's a big mistake. I'm not sure whether it's money or just time, but I felt like the use of Unity engine really killed the aesthetics of the game itself.
Well, I can say that aside from character models, because I can't really see much of a difference when you're looking from one game to the other, but if you put them side by side, maybe colors being more desaturated makes it feel less like an Instagram filter, which is in a way, I guess, kind of fitting if you think about it, because the composition and whatever is still good, right? But seeing as it's Chloe, and she's not really like artistic in the sense of photography and stuff, I say it's kind of fitting. Because she's kind of like in a bad place at the moment.
Right, maybe.
It might have been an artistic choice. But the shaders...
It felt very basic. I mean, there are a lot of weird animation. Like, it looks bad.
Apparently it was still mocap.
But if it's mocap, why is it so bad?
I have no idea. Like,
I mean, let's just take Chloe's moving animation. It's like, you don't walk like a penguin. Do you walk like a penguin in real life? I don't think so.
Well, when I need to pee, I do.
Well, yeah, maybe that. But But aside from that, it's like, you don't walk like that. And then apparently you can, if you use mouse and keyboard, you can just right click to look at your objective, and it's like, I'm just gonna move this hand because it's like robotic movement, and she's not even looking at the hand.
It's just like she lifts it up and then it closes up to your hand.
Yeah, so it's like, what's wrong here? No, I get it that Unity it's a really good engine, and I've seen a lot of good games came from it. I mean, Hearthstone, it was made using Unity. Cuphead was made using Unity.
I don't doubt that Unity is really powerful, but I don't know. Like, I've only worked with like UE4, and that was like for a little bit, but I don't really know the grand scale of things compared to each other. Maybe, well, I don't want to say it. I'll get flamed for it maybe. Like, like usually when you think AAA games, you think Unreal Engine or Crysis Engine.
Or Source Engine, or anything that's like obvious, like, oh, AAA games.
Yeah, but this, it's the first time that I've heard of a game like this being made in Unity, except for maybe one that shall not be named.
Oh.
Let's not go there.
Yeah, let's not go there. I don't know. Maybe it's just it's probably just me being nitpicking about engines, because Unreal Engine 3 is good and it lasts for quite a long time. Even then, there are still games that uses it.
Well, I suppose it's up to the preference of the developer to begin with, but yeah, I don't think for now I don't really see like much difference in terms of performance. I mean,
I guess it will run a lot better on many systems, because Unity it's almost as good as Unreal in terms of tweaking the settings.
Yeah, and if I remember, like their primary reason for switching to Unity was so that they could get like
certain particle effects, something like that.
More realistic.
Yeah, but I don't really see it in the game. Anything else would you like to add about Life is Strange?
The music's great, as usual.
Of course, yes. I don't even know who did a lot of this music, because I prefer to just listen to it without knowing, in a way.
Dude, you could just go into mixtape mode.
Oh, right, it's actually a part of the game now, and oh well, I guess it's just my preference. I just like listening to music, like, it's good, but I don't really care who sang it.
Right.
But overall, the music, it's just great.
Okay, so like up next on the list is Detroit. Detroit become human. Like, oh my god, where do I even start with this? Like, I remember being 14, 15, and when I saw Quantic Dream's Kara, that short film.
That was like super long time ago.
Yeah, it was like 5, 6, almost 7 years ago.
And it was a tech demo, if I remember correctly.
I have no idea about that. Well, it is kind of like a tech demo for the engine, I guess.
Mm-hmm. So, what's Detroit Becoming Human is about?
Well, it's about androids who have like this little spark in them that somehow lets them break the mold. Like, you know how androids are like machines?
Yeah, they're machines, and they follow orders and
they
stuff.
can't act on their own will.
Mm-hmm.
Except in the case of Nier Automata.
That's a whole different story altogether.
It's Yoko Taro.
We're not gonna go there.
Okay. So, right, I remember being 14 and 15, right, and I was like standing outside of this game shop, and they had this TV screen, right? It was a big TV screen, and on it was the Quantic Dreams Kara teaser that they were playing. And I stood there for the whole time it was playing, and I was just like, I was like, wow, is that like a new game or something? No, it wasn't at the time, but now it's being made into a game, and it's called Detroit Become Human, because I guess
human.
Like, like what I said just now, they start to have the capability to act on their own.
They're a sentient being now, basically.
Yeah, and I was like really freaking out over the latest trailer. It's just too good.
Well, I did watch with you just now before we did this recording, and wow, It's like, what's that other game? Heavy Rain?
Yeah, it's by the same people who did Heavy Rain.
And I'm very surprised at how much things or how many times no. It's more like what kind of approach that you would like to look at in terms of handling certain situations, and just based on the trailer alone it's like, huh? You can do these things?
Well, yeah, they were like, I would say Heavy Rain is like the holy grail of story-driven games.
Well, I never played Heavy Rain because I don't own, a console.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
But since it's like really story-driven, you could always watch a playthrough of it.
Yeah, that's true.
But yeah, I was like, this generation is gonna be Detroit. Like, move over, Telltale. These are the big guys.
Well, to
they
be
have
fair,
always been the big guys.
Telltale is like they're using the same formula over and over and over to the point where you just know that these choices don't really matter in the end because they probably either gonna die or something's just gonna happen to them. Like, okay, bye-bye.
Yeah. But yeah, like, first of all, what I have to say about the game, it looks great. It looks amazing. Like, the skin textures, everything. You can even see the pores on the noses.
Yeah, that's true.
Second thing, voice acting is on point. And I just like, as an animator, looking at the facial expressions and the animation, I can tell it's kind of a mix between mocap, I want to say, and hand animation, like as in digital, actually manually moving the parts yourself. It tends to always be that way. Some of the character animations are kind of wonky, I can say that, but we won't know. Like, maybe they'll refine it more before it's released. I mean, it's coming out next year, so
Yeah, to be fair, we were watching a trailer, more or less.
and that was like using the in-game footage.
Yes, I can tell that it's not, pre-rendered stuff. You can clearly see that it's being rendered in game.
It's like it's amazing.
Oh my god. So when is this game coming out?
They said 2018, but they didn't specify the date.
Well, there you go. That's Detroit Becoming Human. Am I pronouncing the game name right?
You mean, are you saying it right?
Am I?
It's Detroit Become Human. There's like a colon in between there, so it's like Detroit Become Human.
It's like saying a city is becoming a human.
Well, no. Well, I no idea. Well, the game is based in Detroit, so.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, they clearly show the city of Detroit, so yeah, there you go.
You know what else is coming out in 2018?
What else is coming out in 2018? Monster Hunter World.
I can't wait because there's like a PSN beta this December.
I am very envious of you because, again, I don't own a console and I'm just waiting for the PC version because, hey, it's an option now. It's not like you have to get an Xbox or a PS4 to play the game.
I know, right? And, well, the other thing is like, man, you have no idea. The collector's edition, ever since Generation came out, like Monster Hunter Generation, and that was the point where Monster Hunter kind of just blew up here.
Yeah.
And now it's so hard to get a collector's edition of Monster Hunter.
How much is it in Malaysian ringgit? I think I saw it somewhere around 750.
780 something from Gamers Hideout, and somewhere else would be 700 750-ish. But
Yeah.
where I got it was like 720.
That's like you save a lot of cash there.
Yeah, I did. And they do free shipping as well.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's no secret that we both love Monster Hunter. I mean, I started out in Monster Hunter 4 Ultimate and have played for like almost 400 hours on my 3DS alone. I'm not sure what yours is.
Close to 1,000.
Yeah. So, I mean, based on those numbers alone, it's clear that we really love the game. And with Monster Hunter World coming soon, it's like it's everyone's dreams come true.
It's a wet dream.
It is a
Except
wet
it's
dream.
real.
Yes, the dream is definitely real.
So it's a wet reality then.
You're not wrong.
We need to invest in a soundboard because this needs a lot. This is, oh god, I can't even say it.
You know we're just like a two-man team, right?
Yes.
So we gotta do what we gotta do.
We gotta do what we gotta do.
Yes.
We need to play Illuminati music.
Nani? Okay, back to the topic. Are you going? Since you're getting the collector's edition, what is inside the collector's edition?
Apparently there's an art book, which is the first for Monster Hunter Collector's Edition.
I thought you can get art books from bookstores.
Yeah, but those are like the production sketches and whatever, right? This is like specifically for Monster Hunter World. And like if you look at the Monster Hunter art books for the first, second, and third volumes, they're actually like mixed. So like in the first book you get the production notes for like 1 and 2 and some unused ideas and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And then in the third book you get production notes for you.
I believe it's until for you.
Yeah. And this one is specifically for Monster Hunter World. You can't get it outside of the collector's edition. I don't believe so. Until they reprint, I'm not sure.
True.
Capcom might plan to release it outside the collector's edition.
Oh boy. I'm surprised that you are not going to invest on the PlayStation 4 version of the console, as in the game.
Well, the collector's edition is for the PlayStation 4 version.
No. I meant like the limited edition PlayStation 4 Monster Hunter World.
Yeah, about that. I already have a PlayStation 4 and I don't like Rathalos, so I mean it's a really nice design. I gotta give you that. I like the controller and I would literally do anything to get the controller.
Just the controller?
Yes, just the controller. But I don't like Rathalos. I would get like a Nargacuga decal probably for my own. And the only thing is that that PlayStation floor. Oh sure, let's get a new release, right? Mm-hmm. Sony comes up with a new pitch idea. It's something you can walk on.
the PlayStation floor.
Right. So that PlayStation 4 is Japan region. Why do you say that weird?
It's Japan exclusive.
Yeah, it's Japan exclusive. I'm not saying that I can't get it. I can get it. It's just gonna be a bit hard, and I don't. I find it a bit redundant if I do.
Well, you could just sell your current PS4 and
Never.
and
I have my Senran Kagura skins on there.
you can just download it back.
Well, that's true, but it's just a hassle to type in my password. It's 30 characters long.
But
It's
you
30 characters long.
still
On a controller.
still it's a Monster Hunter themed PlayStation 4.
I'll just get a decal.
That's defeating the point.
I hate Rathalos. Oh my god, that's not my phone.
Oh my goodness. I mean, even though Rathalos is basically the game's flagship for a very long time.
He's the front face of Monster Hunter, I know. But I just don't like him.
Fine.
The next thing that's in the collector's edition is the figurine of Neru Gigante.
Right, that's the new flagship of this iteration of Monster Hunter.
Yes.
How big is that thing?
I have no idea. I actually haven't looked at the dimensions of the figurine. According to the product pictures, it's kind of small-ish, but still good size, I would say. Then you have the soundtrack and the game itself. I'm not sure what else is there. I can go look like really quickly.
But yeah, gameplay wise, based on the trailers, based on the gameplay, they changed so much, and I think they implemented some of them that's in Generations even.
Yeah, like I was really unhappy with how the charge blade was in Generations because it just felt clunky then.
I thought it was nerfed to the ground.
Yeah. Right, so then I see the trailer for the charge blade in here and I was like, wait a minute, that movement, wait, there's an aftershock on the ground. Could it be that it's back to 4U? And then RX Gaming, right? He uploaded his video.
Uh-huh.
And yes, it's confirmed that they're keeping the red shield mechanic
Oh boy.
from Generations. But they're adding one new move and it's the same good old charge blade we knew from 4U.
Oh boy. But yeah, I mean, I just can't wait for the game. It's like I'm willing to throw that much cash. I mean, not 750 of course, but full price on Monster Hunter World, especially on PC, because hey, it's an option and I can play with my controller if I really want to. And in fact, it's recommended that if you play with a controller.
Yeah, man, like if you experience like a second analog stick on Monster Hunter, you're never going back. Like they had the PS3 HD remake for Portable Third.
Mm-hmm.
I played it and they repurposed the right analog stick to be the camera.
Oh.
Yeah, and you move using the left analog stick, so it feels so good.
I heard that in basically the PSP era, where you literally have to use whatever it's called, the claw method,
Yeah.
just to move the cameras and whatnot.
Either that or you be really quick. The claw method, right? It makes my hand cramp up. But what I like to do is just flip my character in the right direction and just tap the L button really fast.
Ah, okay.
I've also done that with the 3DS version before I got my Circle Pad Pro.
Man, those were the days.
Yep.
So yeah, that's Monster Hunter World. I mean, we still haven't played the game, obviously, but we can't wait to get our hands on the game. And oh boy, there's gonna be like another hundreds and hundreds of hours.
January, man. January.
Well, I'm not sure when the PC version is gonna come out, but I hope it's like 1 month or two after the console release.
Oh man, yes. I wonder if they're gonna have a demo for the PC one as well.
I really hope so. I really hope so.
Right, so I noticed that you bought a Hat in Time.
Well,
And
yeah.
you also bought Cuphead.
Let's talk about... Actually, let's just talk about Cuphead. Yeah, for those who say that Cuphead is the Dark Souls of platformers,
Screw you, it's Contra.
it's not even Contra. Okay, fine. The run and gun segments are, Contra. But the rest of them are actually a boss rush. So, Cuphead is by Studio MDHR, where you play as Cuphead.
Well, no shit.
Well, yeah, no shit, right? It has the best aesthetics that I have ever seen in 2017. It's based on the 1930s cartoon, and my god, it's so beautiful. I heard that the game has been in development since 2011.
Oh yeah, it has been. I remember seeing like a trailer for it in 2011. I was like, cool. And then I kind of forgot about it.
And when it came out, I was like, yeah, this is my kind of game. I like platforming. I like to fight, hard bosses because I have some experience with games such as, well, let's just take Toho because we do play it and it's actually pretty hard anyway. But what makes Cuphead really good is that each boss that I fought in the game, it's unique. They have their own art style, they have their own animation sequence, and it's just
And they have their own gimmicks.
yeah, they have their own gimmicks, and it's just how did they do this?
Well, by using their brains, of course.
And and with how the art style is being hand drawn, it's not like your typical art style. It's just hand drawn every single frame, and it's just amazing to see how fluid the characters are in the game.
Yeah. The one trippy thing about it is that it's not actually like the frame rate. The frame rate is lying to you all the time.
Yeah, the game is actually running at 60 FPS.
But it's actually 24 FPS.
It makes your eyes go whoa. And I like the game. I enjoy what the game has to offer. But what I do hate about the game is the run and gun segments. Those were clearly an afterthought because apparently in the early days of the development, it's more of a boss rush game. And later on, they decided, hey, let's add platforming sections. And they call it run and gun. The problem is that it fell into the standard platforming issues where they just spam enemies. Some of them would appear off screen and hit you when it hurts the most, and you often die a lot, and it's not even fun. Now, trying to finish these levels in pacifist mode where you do not kill any enemies except parrying, because why not? It's the hardest piece of shit that I have ever done ever.
Well, man, like, you finished it recently though, right? I mean, like, have you ever thought about starting a speed run on it?
I personally, I don't want to do a speed run of it because I spent about 12 hours into the game, and I'm surprised that it took me that long to finish the game. I also blamed it on King Dice, not King Die.
Yeah, if not, he would be plural, right?
Yes, it's plural for dice. King Dice took the longest because it's an endurance battle where you have to fight a lot of minions just to reach him, and even then, if you manage to have enough health to fight him, and goodness, it took me 2 hours, and that was tiring. For weapons, to be fair, the default pea shooter is the best weapon, except the chaser, because it's a homing bullet. What do you expect?
Well, I don't know, but like the charge shot seems to be a very popular option.
For speedrunning, yeah, it does.
Not for speedrunning, man. For speedrunning, you want the lobber and the roundabout.
Ah, I see what you did there. I've seen videos of people abusing the swap mechanics, where you indefinitely increased your attack speed,
Well, it's not about the attack speed either.
and well, you get damage.
Well, yeah.
I like the game. It's really fun. I think it's worth the money. If you like hard games, I really would suggest this game for you. But since I played this game alone, I don't really know how it feels like to play with two people.
Well, if you're playing with two people, you can resurrect each other.
Right, that's a thing. And well, apparently if you play two people, each level will get significantly longer than if you're playing single player.
So you mean to say it's twice as long?
Yep, it's twice as long.
Because you have two people?
Oh my god, why did I invite you here in the first place?
What are you talking about? This is my place.
Oh shit. So that is Cuphead. And do you want to talk about anything else before we wrap up?
Yeah, quick question. What do you think about? Okay, I know what you think about Warframe, so that's off the list. But what do you think about Mie Sedap now that you've tasted Indomie?
Why are you asking me this question? Okay, fine. I'll answer your question. So it's actually really good, even though the packaging is so small. In fact, like I only had like 5 bites, more or less,
Yeah.
and it's really good. So yeah, can you take the packaging so I can tell everyone what was I eating? Yeah, so this is basically Indomie Pop Mie, and apparently it's the size of your average ice cream. Ice cream in a cup, is it?
It's like the tub ice cream,
Yeah, but it's a tiny one.
like the Haagen-Dazs ones.
Okay, slightly bigger than Haagen-Dazs because that's too small.
Yeah, and well, I would say like this is like the mini size because it's for a snack. This one they have a specific line. Like this one is specifically made mini, and they have a full size one as well.
Oh boy. But yeah, if you're wondering where to get this, it's actually from Indonesia. And I don't know, I like good food, but this thing, I don't mind having a stockpile of it at home because it's just that great.
So you're not. So you're saying it's not good, but it's
It's
excellent.
good.
It's great.
Oh no, it's not great. It's excellent.
Yeah. What did you think of the mini meatballs?
Those were meatballs?
Yeah, it's baso.
It looked like pellets for me.
It's baso. Oh, I didn't know you turned into a goldfish.
It looked like pellets for me.
It's like fish flakes, fish pellets.
Well, not fish pellets. More like something that rabbits would eat, you know, or is it guinea pigs? I don't know, but I like it. I really like it. I love good food. I love silly snacks like this that makes you feel good. So, anything else would you like to add,
Well, not really.
or we could just wrap up the show.
Sure.
So, where can we find you?
Me.
Yes, where
Yeah.
can you find you?
You can find me on Facebook at Kuroshibe Art. That's www.facebook.com/kuroshibeart. There's no S on the end. Wait, or is there? Oh wait, there is an S. I'm sorry. Kuroshibe Arts. It's the one with the rabbit picture.
Right. So, what do you do there?
I draw and I don't post pictures of it, but I also do sewing. Like I do fursuits, but mostly I draw, and it's more often than not for a t-shirt design nowadays. Speaking of which, if you want a cool t-shirt,
Hey,
check
no
out-
shilling. Okay, fine, you can shill.
It's my website, man.
Go on ahead.
If you want a cool t-shirt, check it out at mynerdyneeds.com.
Boy, first episode and we have shilling.
Shilling. Well, I don't know. Like I only have 50 cents, so I don't have a shilling. So
Well, shilling means you promote your stuff in most notably awkward ways or just outright annoying. But usually people see shilling as a good thing.
well, I was trying to make a pun, but sure.
Sorry,
You know how our $1 coin is called a shilling?
oh my God, stop it! Stop it!
I know
no.
it's unbearable.
Oh, you've been doing puns since forever.
I know.
I guess you're a punny for person.
Well,
Person.
first. What the shit, man?
Person.
I was gonna say that at least one of us here has a funny bone in them.
Wait, who?
At least one of us.
Who?
I don't know. One of us.
Well, folks, the truth is out there, and we are not gonna find out about it.
Well,
Are you?
no.
I won't either. Right, so as for me, you know where to find this thing. It's gonna be at facebook.com/JerryCastMY. You can find me on Facebook again. What? You can find me on YouTube with my usual name, Utsukimi Jerry. I have changed it into JerryCastMY, so I believe the link should be youtube.com/JerryCastMY. Anything else would you like to add?
Not really.
Then I
think we
guess,
can end it.
yeah, I guess we can end it. So, until next time, thanks for listening to the first episode of the JerryCast podcast.
You said cast twice.
Ha ha, I was trying to make a very bad joke.
I think you should cast someone as your editor next time.
Ha ha ha. Alright, until then, thanks for listening. Bye bye.
Bye.